Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. I got to tell you, I was looking at some of the recent news articles, and the media is going absolutely ballistic over the Donald Trump Fake News Awards, or the fakies, fake newsies. And I tell you, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm reading article after article in here how the press is like saying that this is an assault on free speech, this is an assault on the press, yada, 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 making mountain out of a molehill. Here you go. This is the LA Times. The Fake News Awards are another escalation of President Trump's assault on press freedoms. Are you kidding me? It's an assault on press freedoms. That's what the LA Times is saying here. An op-ed by Elvin McMullen and Mindy Flynn. Oh, wow, two people. I guess they couldn't write it, separately. They had to write a article written by two, because it takes two people from the LA Times to have the brain power of one. Anyway, here's what it says here. President Trump is scheduled to host a farce. A farce! It's a farce, everybody! A farce of a media celebration, a fake news awards presentation on Wednesday. It's as though once the Hollywood Awards balloting got underway, he wished desperately to host his own party with golden statues and an adoring audience. So it's almost like childlike is what they're trying to make it out. Oh, he wants an award show too. No, that's not what it was on, but yeah, thanks for trying to create it in that little liberal demented perspective. At the White House press briefing on Tuesday, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, that's Governor Mike Huckabee, the guy that's on TBN now, has that show, and he used to run for president. Yeah, him. That's his daughter. Referred to it as a potential event, and that it would be easy to dismiss the whole thing as just another bullying stunt, a harmless exercise in self-aggrandizement. Easy, but wrong. Now, just for the record, she did not say that it was another bullying stunt. She just referred to it as a potential event. The press at the LA Times is saying that it is a bullying stunt. You're bullying us. We punched him in the face and now he's hitting us back. Just sounds, like a bully, doesn't it? The victim finally starts just beating the pulp out of the bully, and he's like, oh, he's hurting me. Please, teacher, stop him. It's exactly what's happening here. The press has been bullies for years. My goodness, they've bullied me. They have bullied, they bullied a ton of people. They always bully Republicans. But now that Republicans are starting to punch back, we're the victims. They're triggering us. They're putting us in our safe space. It's so great, in my opinion, and from my perspective, to see the bullies getting beaten up. I mean, they don't know how to handle Trump because Trump doesn't care. He just punches back. The president's escalating assault on free press is part of his broader effort to weaken our democracy for his own political and personal gain. As a candidate, Trump didn't hide his concept for the men and women covering his campaign. No, his cries of fake news were rivaled only by chants of lock her up, and build the wall, a rage-fueled trinity that he brought with him into the Oval Office. It's a crunch. It's a crutch he leans on, betraying his own feeble standing with most Americans and designed to grind critics and truth-tellers into silence. This is the LA Times. The president's penchant for threatening and belittling our First Amendment protected press isn't isolated. No, it has spread like a virus among his team supporters and elected loyalists. Yes, Press Secretary Sanders repeats his barbs, and his closest advisors offer them up as talking points in interviews. His supporters turned his retweet of a bloodied CNN logo into a meme. Even members of Congress and candidates for higher offices now parrot the president's fake news claims. So yeah, if you can imagine, they're a little bit dramatic, and I hope you all enjoyed my dramatic reading of the LA Times article on here. The fake news awards are another escalation in Trump's assault on press freedoms. No, it's not. It is a demonstration of the president's right to engage in freedom of speech. And here the press is saying, he's hurting our press freedoms. No, he's not. He is using his freedom of speech. And for you guys to say that he doesn't have the right to go after the press, you guys are saying that he doesn't have the right to use the First Amendment freedom of speech. He has every right to have a fake news award if he wants to. Now, supposedly it's supposed to go on sometime today. Some people were saying, like on Twitter, that it was supposed to happen at 5 o'clock. And I was checking it out because I was, of course, not wanting to miss that. And I have the news channels on, and I don't see them, foaming at the mouth as they usually do. So I just haven't. So far, I don't see anything on here as to when this is going to take place. You watch Trump just reschedule it. He'll just keep rescheduling this thing and keep the press just completely panicked. Because, I mean, it's very possible that the president is playing the press again. Because, listen, let me actually, I want to get that tweet that President Trump made about the fake news awards. So give me just one brief second and let me grab this tweet here. Fake news, Trump fake news, real, Google, real, Donald, D-O-N-A-L-D, Trump. There we go. And we'll see. I don't see. There it is. Okay, this is what Trump said on Twitter. The fake news awards. This is what he said. The fake news awards, those going to the mainstream, to the most corrupt and biased of the mainstream media, will be presented to the losers on Wednesday, January 17th, which it's Wednesday, January 17th, rather than this coming Monday. The interest in and importance of these awards is far greater than anyone could have anticipated. And that's what Trump said on Twitter. So, supposedly, they were supposed to be taking place today, January 17th. So far, they haven't been taking place. So, maybe it's going to happen later on today. Maybe it's going to happen sometime, in the future. I think, because, see, what was supposed to happen is that this tweet was made on January 7th, 2018, okay, which was on Sunday. And he made that the day before he was supposed to have the fake news awards, which was Monday, January the 8th. Well, now here we are at January the 17th, and so far I still haven't heard anything. Now, maybe later on today, later on this evening, he'll actually go through with this, and that'll be very entertaining. If he doesn't go through with it, watch him reschedule it again, and then the press will be saying, oh, he's rescheduling it. Oh, my gosh. The insanity continues. Chaos. And that's what's going to happen. So the press is just going to completely continue blowing their minds, and I think that might be very well what Trump is going for here. So don't be surprised if he reschedules it, maybe in the mid-broadcast or later on today. He'll shock me, and he'll go through with this, and everything that I'm saying right now is meaningless. So we'll see what happens. If that doesn't take place, watch him postpone it again. Due to weather, we're going to postpone the fake news awards. Oh, that would be hilarious. So we'll see what he does. But, I think the press is being played again because, how stupid is it if he's joking about this entire thing? Because listen to how Sarah Huckabee Sanders phrased that too. She called it a potential event. She didn't say it was going to happen. She said it was a potential event. So if it's a potential event, what does that mean? That means that more than likely, there's a chance that it's not going to happen. But that's Sarah saying, I don't want to destroy my boss's fun. because he's like trying to deliberately get the media worked up. And I love it. I that's what conservative talk radio has done for years. So that's what I did when I was, younger. So it's funny seeing other people like that are actually in politics trying to get the media deliberately worked up just so they can start, blowing a gasket. It's hilarious. So anyway, that's what we have going on there. There was another article on here somewhere. Let me see if I can find that. But it's just not, it's not just the LA Times. Like, there were a ton of other news agencies that were just completely going crazy over this stuff. Here's the other article. This is from NBC News. Nina Khrushcheva said that Donald Trump's not quite Joseph Stalin, but his fake news awards should scare us. Ooh, spooky. Trump's America is in some ways worse than Russia during my Soviet childhood. Wow. Worse than Russia during the Soviet Union. How about that? So Donald Trump is actually worse than Joseph Stalin. He's not quite Joseph Stalin, he's worse. President Donald Trump's planned fake news awards ceremony, announced then quickly rescheduled for January 17th, flies in the face of the First Amendment, a foundation of American democracy and decency. See, no, you criticizing him, I guess, would fly in the face of American democracy because he is using his freedom of speech to call it fake news. But even before Trump entered the White House, his worst insults were usually aimed at the independent media. Independent media? Are you kidding me? They reported that he threw a teenager's hat away just to cause him to look bad, and he actually threw the hat and it went directly to the teen. So, it's just so absolutely pathetic. They are fake news. They also ran with a dossier that had the Trump doing, undesirable, inappropriate acts that never happened, solely to make him look like he was, some weird creep. And it was disgusting acts. And he said, I didn't engage in that type of behavior because I'm a germaphobe. So, and he has been. He's been a germaphobe for years. He said, that's just gross. I'm not going to get into detail of what it was because it's so bad, but you guys can Google it. Just be careful what you Google. But it was just fake news stories, left and right, mainly from the left. But anyway, here's what it says. President Trump's fake news awards. It flies in the face of American democracy. I already read that. But even before Trump entered the White House, his worst insults were usually aimed at the independent media. Or as he labeled it, the fake news, an enemy of the people. Oh, okay. It's the enemy of the people. Right. That's exactly right. Why? Because they are giving us fake news. Once in the Oval Office, the newly minted president tweeted, the fake news media, failing New York Times, NBC News, there's why NBC is attacking him, failing New York Times, failing NBC News, ABC, CBS, CNN, is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people. Oh, that's just hurtful. Ow. He was attacking the media, it seemed, for not reporting his prowess and success, which is true. They solely focus on negativity. With Obama, it was all this success and all this wonderful things happening. Meanwhile, we're hitting record numbers at the Dow Jones in Wall Street, reaching over 25,000. The economy's booming. We have billions and billions of money that's being reinvested in the United States. We have jobs that are coming over here. It's amazing, and they're not reporting any of it. As a former Soviet citizen, I am frequently overcome by a horror movie, feeling fear and disbelief. Oh, well, it's probably nightmares from your childhood. It's almost as if I don't know where I am. In cosmopolitan New York or in a momentous Moscow, listening to Soviet leaders boasting from the Kremlin about communism's drummed-up victories and denouncing their illusory enemies. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake delivered a pre-planned speech from the Senate floor on Wednesday criticizing the president's attacks on the press. Some people are suggesting, this is me, some people are suggesting that Flake, that dandruff boy, is going to be potentially running for president in 2020. So we'll see what happens. But he won't get very far at all. You only get establishment votes. That's it.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
QuidJob.com is a freelancer website that allows people to buy and sell microservices. Microservices are small tasks and jobs that you can offer to make money. This may be your online skills such as graphic designing and video editing, or your offline skills like helping someone assemble furniture or mowing their lawn. If you're tired of working for someone, or perhaps you want to make some extra money on the side, you should register your services on QuidJob.com. It is absolutely free to list as many services as you like, both online and offline. No listing fees at all, which means you really have nothing to lose. There are hundreds of categories from video and photography to repairs and construction. What is there to lose? Join QuidJob now on QuidJob.com. That is QUID job.com. QuidJob.com. So ladies, officially DonThomas.webs.com is selling a B. Cardi shoe, which is a limited edition sports shoe made in Italy. Looks really nice. You can go there by going to officially DonThomas.webs.com and check it out for yourself by going to the web store, and they have a large selection of items to choose from. They offer free express shipping, and you can go there now at officially DonThomas.webs.com and also enter promo code CUSTOMNOW. That is CUSTOMNOW for a 15% discount. That is officially DonThomas.webs.com.
All children around the world deserve an education. Sadly, not all children have that opportunity. Distance Teaching and Mobile Learning is a non-profit organization dedicated to transforming the lives of children in impoverished areas of the world. They believe that education not only transforms lives, but rebuilds economies. Distance Teaching and Mobile Learning are doing incredible work right now in Uganda, Ethiopia, Venezuela, and Colombia, and are asking you to support their important work. A donation of just $20 can make a change in the life of a child. Also, corporate sponsors are welcome. To learn more and to donate, visit blog.dtml.org. Students are waiting for your help. blog.dtml.org.
You're listening to the home of Caiden Cowger on your local station, America's youngest syndicated talk personality.
Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, NerdProWriting.com. NerdProWriting.com assists students in middle school, high school, and college with writing essays, and they do so as a service. They're a relatively new company, just started this year. For more information, you can go to NerdProWriting.com. That is NerdProWriting.com. Once again, that is Nerd, N-E-R-D, Pro, P-R-O, Writing.com.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor. That's www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had
You
to
know
say
why
it.
no one trusts the mainstream media? It's because they are nothing but a bunch of liars. They are liars. They are the essence of fake news. Okay? All the alphabet networks, CNN, MSLSD, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNBC, I mean, all of them. All of them were forwarding the notion that President Donald Trump has dementia, has Alzheimer's, is going loco. Okay, that's what they were all saying. So what President Trump did, okay, fine, I'm going to go and I'm going to get an extensive checkup. So he goes in for a 4-hour checkup, and they test for everything. They test for dementia, they test for Alzheimer's, and he took what is called a Montreal Cognitive Assessment, which is a cognitive screening exam for dementia, for any type of neurological condition. And here's what Trump scored. 30 out of 30. Perfect score. 30 out of 30. Okay, so he does not have dementia. He doesn't have any signs of dementia. He scored a perfect score, which many people who don't even have dementia can't do. So he scored 30 out of 30. The guy is completely sane. Okay, the guy is not suffering from any form of dementia whatsoever. So that's a lie. Okay, so that's what we have here. Now, just to give you an example, the press continued belligerent Dr. Rodney Jackson, who was the presidential physician. And they just absolutely hammered this man with questions. You know, are you sure he doesn't have dementia? No, he scored a perfect score. He doesn't have dementia because he scored 30 out of 30, which most sane people can't do. That doesn't mean he doesn't have dementia. So they're like completely belligerent Dr. Rodney Jackson, who was just doing his job. And he said that his health is in excellent shape. And that's not me. That's not my opinion. That is the statistics. He's in excellent shape. 30 out of 30. My goodness, that is perfect. Well, anyway, so what some reporters asked him, they asked Dr. Rodney Jackson, did you tell the current president about his predecessors' exercise routines? And does this president ask you about how he could follow his predecessors' example to be as fit as Barack Obama was? How can Trump be as fit as President Obama? That's a reporter. Go ahead and listen to this. This is Dr. Rodney Jackson taking questions from reporters. This is the president's physician.
In the back.
Can you tell the current president about his predecessor's exercise routine? And does this president ask you about how he could follow his predecessor's example to be as fit as Barack Obama was? And the second question, do you keep a tally of how much golf the U.S. president plays? That is something the press office repeatedly does not tell us. Do you keep a tally, and do you consider that exercise?
No, I've not had that conversation. No, I don't keep a tally. And yes, like everything else being on the golf course, there is a certain amount of exercise involved in that. Next question.
So there you go. My goodness. Can you be as fit as President Obama? Can Trump just be as fit as President Obama? So here you have President Obama, a little shrimp, where if you look at his exercise routine, it was hilarious. All right. It was embarrassing and hilarious. But this guy's seriously asking, can Trump be as fit as President Obama? That's hilarious. Absolutely comical. No, I haven't had that question with the president. Of course he hasn't. That's a stupid question. See, this is why we have the Declaration of Independence. No, I'm kidding. I'm British. Well, not British, but I have, English ancestry, so I can get by with making remarks like that. Anyway, it's just dumb. Absolutely dumb. Dumb. And, to really even, like even golf, for example, right? What do men do when they reach a certain age for exercise? A lot of them go out and play golf. That's a way of getting, a lot of exercise. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. That's part of the presidential exercise routine. Because you walk the golf course, you bend down to look at the green. So, yeah, I mean, it is a legitimate exercise routine when men reach a certain age. They just focus on playing golf. And that's something that men do all the time at the country club. So, it's not unheard of. It is an exercise routine. It's just an exercise routine at a little bit of a slower pace. But you do use muscles and all that. So, I mean, I don't know. The press, this is why they keep calling the media fake news. This is why. Because they ask questions that are loaded, like, can you please confirm that? Can you please tell me how he can be as fit as Obama? Here's another thing. Reporters ask the doctor 22 times. They ask this guy 22 times, Dr. Rodney Jackson. They ask him 22 times if the president is actually sane. Ronnie Jackson. Now, I want you to listen to this. This is the audio bit of them 22 times asking Trump's doctor if the president is sane. Go ahead. Listen to this.
The results that we got from the exercise stress test, I think, are very reassuring.
Dr. Jackson, thank you. Could you just elaborate in layman's terms, if possible, and you've been doing a great job at that, what you ruled out in these cognitive tests? There have been reports that the president has forgotten names, that he's repeating himself. Are you ruling out things like early onset Alzheimer's? Are you looking at dementia-like symptoms? And then a second question, a lot of doctors at the back end of a physical like to give their patients tips before they walk out the door, things that they should change in terms of lifestyle or behavior. What did you tell this president outside of diet that he might want to change?
Yeah, so I think that cognitive test, it's well respected. It's a test that's used, throughout the United States. Lots and lots of institutions use that test. It's the one that they use at Walter Reed for patients that they feel like they need to do cognitive screens on. So it's a universally accepted test, and like I said, it's a little bit more extensive than some of the shorter ones that are in some of the guidelines. But it screens for all those things. It screens for any type of cognitive issues, Alzheimer's and all those other things. And so, the fact that the president got, 30 out of 30 on that exam, I think that, there's no indication whatsoever that he has any cognitive issues.
That's hilarious.
And, on a day-to-day basis, like I said before, it's been my experience that the president, he's very sharp and, he's very articulate when he speaks to me. And, I've never known him to repeat himself, around me. He says what he's got to say and he speaks his mind. And I've found no reason whatsoever to think that the president has... Yeah, I found no reason whatsoever to think that the president has any issues whatsoever with this thought process. So,
and the tips part, did you recommend he make any changes?
So there you go. And they ask this same question like 22 times. 22 times. That was just one of the occasions. Isn't that amazing? All of them are asking, is he sane? Is he sane? Yeah, he scored a 30 out of 30. Doesn't have any cognitive issues. Guys, the media is creating this false narrative that the president is insane, that he's crazy, that he doesn't know what he's doing, that the White House is in chaos, that he threw away a kid's hat, that he, is a loose cannon, anything that they can think of. He hates Mexicans. Unbelievable. It's amazing. And this is what the media has done ever since Trump first entered the limelight as running for president. It's what they've done. And now that he's president, they keep this fake news stuff going around. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, don't be upset, media, when Trump says that you're fake news when you do nothing but promote false narratives and Democratic propaganda, Democratic agitprop, and do not have the best interests of the American people in mind. You have your political agenda in mind.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me introduce you to a great website called mugthebookie.com. That is mugthebookie.com. They have a wide range of sports picks and sports news to choose from. You go onto the website and right there you'll find a bunch of news articles pertaining to sports, be it football, basketball, hockey, and all the others. Go to mugthebookie.com. That is mug, M-U-G, the T-H-E, bookie, BOOKIE.com.
So, you want to learn Japanese. You've tried all sorts of apps that mostly let you type answers and click on pictures. Can somebody please let me talk? Okay, Fluency 365 is here. Click on speak.fluency365.com. That's the numbers 365. Speak.fluency365.com. The only learning platform that gives you daily virtual speaking practice. To try your first virtual Japanese conversation now, visit speak.fluency365.com. Fluency only happens when you talk. Speak.fluency365.com.
Like the Fiancé, sung by Unit of Elite.
So do any of you ladies out there want to learn more about what makes men tick and how they work? Subscribe today to TG2M Magazine, also known as Talk Geeky to Me Magazine, founded by technology founder and editor-in-chief Casey Austin. If they like it, think about it, eat it, drink it, or wear it, TG2M talks about it. Their website is TG2mmagazine.com. That is TG2mmagazine.com. Their Instagram is at TalkGeekyToMe10. Their Twitter is KCKAYECEETG2M. So you can check out TG2mmagazine.com. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, NerdProWriting.com. NerdProWriting.com assists students in middle school, high school, in college with writing essays, and they do so as a service. They're a relatively new company, just started this year. For more information, you can go to nerdprowriting.com. That is nerdprowriting.com. Once again, that is nerd, N-E-R-D, pro, P-R-O, writing.com.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor. That's www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
guys, this stuff is just absolutely
Caiden Cowger.
it's out of control.
Somebody had to say it.
I mean, they are legitimately trying to make it out like Trump is crazy. They've been doing that for months. They've been saying that he has Alzheimer's for months, and now that he scored a 30 out of 30 on a sanity test, on a cognitive test, they don't know what to do. I mean, they are just absolutely bonkers. They are the ones that are insane. And there's a guy on Twitter that had made the remark to me, or that had made the remark on there that, liberals are going crazy now that the president passed this mental health test. And I just responded back that liberals are like patients that are in mental hospitals. Everybody else is insane. I'm not insane. Everyone else is just crazy. I'm not crazy. Yet they're the ones that think it's perfectly rational for a human to transition into a lizard. I mean, come on. These liberals are insane. They are crazy. Anything that they can do to make the president look bad is, they will take any opportunity to cause the president to look bad. Listen to this. I want to play this for you. This is Jeff Flake, Jeff Dandruff that we were talking about earlier. Jeff Flake was on 2020 and said that he will not rule out, he was on MSNBC. Sorry, not 2020. He was on MSNBC and said that he would not rule out running in 2020. So he's planning on running for the Republican nomination, possibly. Go ahead and listen to this.
I think that I'm not the only one.
Will you completely rule out challenging the president for the nomination in 2020?
I won't rule it out. It's not in my plans, but I'm not ruling it out. I don't think anybody should.
Is there anybody else that you would like to see throw their hat in the ring?
Some that ran last time, I'm sure, may be thinking of it as well on the Republican ticket. And like I said, as an independent, I'm sure there will be some who are independents who will declare, as an independent and run. I think that's probably certain.
You once said that when you look at some of the audiences cheering for Republicans, sometimes you look out there and you say, those are the spasms of a dying party. What do you mean by that?
Well, after the Mitt Romney loss, we got together as Republicans and produced what we called the autopsy, where we said, we've got to appeal to a broader base, particularly minority groups that we haven't done that well with. And when you look at every election cycle, we're 2% less white as a country. And unless we as Republicans figure out how to appeal to a broader electorate, then we're just not going to succeed in the long term. You can win an election here or there by whipping up the base. I think California in the early 90s proved that. But in California, you've only had one statewide Republican elected, in the last 20 years. And I'm afraid that's where we're headed if we don't start appealing more to minority groups as well as do better among young people and women.
In your home state of Arizona, the former...
Can we stop it right there for a second? Yeah. So here's the thing. Jeff Flake is basically saying that we need to become liberal in order to win. That's what he's saying. Forget changing minds, forget changing hearts. We need to start pandering to minorities, to start sucking up to black people, to start sucking up to women, to start sucking up to Hispanics and Latinos, and, further divide people among the races like the Democrats do in order to win elections. I've got a question to ask you. I mean, guys, those of you out there who, are black, who are Latino, what does that sound like to you? Do you like hearing that? I mean, does that sound good to you? Do you take offense to that? I think you should personally, because, when I look at somebody and I'm trying to, I've ran for office before. When I, ran for city council here locally, I didn't look at somebody and think, hey, I need to get their vote. So I'm going to, they're black. So I need to, talk about what I'm going to do for black people. Don't you think that is just disgusting? Like they're trying to use you for your race? They're trying to go after you because you're black. They're trying to go after you because you're Latino. But I got news for you. Jeff Flake is an establishment Republican that's wanting the GOP to do that. Guess who's already doing that? The Democrats. They're going after you specifically because you're black, and they're saying we represent black causes. Meanwhile, they're supporting Planned Parenthood facilities which specifically target black neighborhoods because Black people, they found, because they have enshrined them to it, are more likely to take their abortion services. And on top of that, listen to me, hear me on this, because this is why I'm saying this. What they have done is that they have enshrined that in black neighborhoods, in black communities. This type of easy way of doing away with a child. Because what they say is that if you don't have any funding, if you don't have any money, then what we're going to do is we're going to create this abortion facility so you can just come right in and start and get an abortion. So what they do is that they specifically target black neighborhoods that are of lower income so that they will come in and take their services more. This is proven. Because you know why they started doing that? You know why they started that? Because the woman that started Planned Parenthood, she hated black people. She spoke at Ku Klux Klan rallies. And she said that the black race needed to be wiped off the face of the earth. This is the organization that the Democrats support. This is the organization that Democrats want to subsidize. An organization that wants you dead. That wants your that wants your race wiped off the face of the earth. Margaret Sanger was the one that went from Klan rally to Klan rally, talking about how they needed to wipe you off the face of the earth. Margaret Sanger, the owner, the founder of Planned Parenthood. The organization was founded on one of the main principles of exterminating the black race, of sterilizing all African American males. And this is what they still attempt to do today. That's why they target black neighborhoods, because it still operates on that foundation. Perhaps today it's not specifically to do away with black people, but it's still because early on by Margaret Sanger it began to be enshrined in the black community, in these black suburbs that were of lower income that couldn't afford children, as being a solution to that inability to afford children, to just have an abortion and kill your kid. Because it was enshrined by Margaret Sanger. And in her writing, she said that she specifically wanted to do away with the black race. They still follow that plan today because it's the most financially economic way for them, financially beneficial way for them, because these are institutions that are already established in black neighborhoods. And still, it's a financially smart way for them, they believe, to target lower income areas, and they still specifically target black neighborhoods. Isn't that disturbing? That's the organization that the Democratic Party doesn't want to cut funding to. An organization that was founded on racism and still follows the blueprint of racism today, and still is contributing to the execution, to the extermination of the black race. That should make every single person that is African American not vote Democrat again. And you can do it your own homework. Don't take my word for it. I encourage you, don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself. Google it. Don't listen to just me. Do your own homework. Go to google.com. Search it. Margaret Sanger, KKK. Look it up. You'll find plenty of information. And then you tell your friends about it, because that's exactly what's happening. You need to contribute to waking other people up. Because, see, this is what Jeff Flake is wanting to do. He's wanting to develop the same immoral, disgusting, racist tactics of dividing the races in order to conquer. And we've got to unify everybody. Martin Luther King said that I have a dream that not only that black people sit together and white people sit together, no, that we'll all sit together at the table of brotherhood. That we will all see each other not as a race, that we'll all see each other not for a race, but for who we are, truly, and that's people.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, so let me tell you about a great company, nerdprowriting.com. NerdPro Writing is absolutely wonderful. They assist students in middle school, in high school, in college with writing essays, and they're a company that can be of great help if you know somebody or if you are the one struggling in getting your work turned in. They have absolutely great professional services at a very affordable cost, so go there right now. That is nerdprowriting.com. That is NERDPRO writing.com.
Refresh, replenish, restore, and hydrate the right way with Progene Premium Electrolyte Enhanced Water. Unlock the alkaline pH performance power of professional athlete developed and fitness community endorsed Progene Water. Available in 9.5 pH electrolyte enhanced or our new all natural 8.0 pH additive free mineral spring water. Available at 7-Eleven and online at Amazon.com. Progene Water, hydrating the world one bottle at a time.
So you want to learn Spanish. You've tried all sorts of apps that mostly let you type answers and click on pictures. Can somebody please let me talk? Okay, Fluency 365 is here. Click on speak.fluency365.com. That's the numbers 365. Speak.fluency365.com. The only learning platform that gives you daily virtual speaking practice. To try your first virtual Spanish conversation now, visit speak.fluency365.com. Fluency only happens when you talk. Speak.fluency365.com.
Like the Fiancé, sung by Unit of Elite.
You're listening to the home of Caiden Cowger on your local station, America's youngest syndicated talk personality.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
See, I'm sorry. I favor Martin Luther King's view of a colorblind society.
Caiden Cowger.
Just celebrated Martin Luther King's Day, by the way, on Monday, so it's a perfect fitting time to talk about
Somebody had to say it.
But, because I was, raised on the song, Jesus loves the little children. All the little children of the world, red, yellow, black, and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. I mean, I don't understand racism. I think that the skin tone of a person's, on a person's body is the same exact significance as the color of a person's eyes, as the color of a person's hair. I think it's meaningless. It's dumb. Whatever. It's part of who you are. It's a physical attribute. It's not something to discriminate against somebody for. My goodness. It's not something to, that's how stupid. I'm not going to talk to you because you have blue eyes. I'm not going to talk to you because you have green eyes. That's how stupid I think racism is. If you would turn that around and say, I'm not going to talk to you because you're black, or I'm not going to talk to you because you're white. I think it's all dumb. I'm not hiring you because you have blue eyes. That's just as stupid as saying that you're not going to hire somebody because you're black. I just think it's dumb. I don't understand racism and how that mentality works, and I never will. And I really don't want to, because I think it's an evil, demonic type of viewpoint of looking at things. So, guys, that's where I stand on it. And when I hear these politicians, Democrats and Republicans both, that start pandering to people based on their race, and I do have to say, guys, it is an effective method. It is an effective method for the Democrats. I mean, look at how much of a large majority of African Americans are able to get. And that's what I'm saying. If you are, an African American listening to this program, you need to research the stuff that I've told you about for yourself and tell your friends about it, because there are active people in this country that are seeking to divide us up by race, that are seeking to make you hate white guys and seeking white guys to hate you. So, it just absolutely makes me sick, because we've been trying to make progress all this time, trying to unite everybody. And then for these people that are deliberately attempting to divide people by race solely for the purpose of political gain, it's disgusting to me. It is absolutely disgusting, and it's demonic. It's sickening. So, guys, don't fall for these politicians doing that, like Jeff Flake and all these others. And by the way, we're not done with that Jeff Flake audio, I don't think. So keep playing that. This is Jeff Flake. Go ahead. See if it.
Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio has announced he's going to run for your Senate seat. Do you think that Arpaio could win a general Senate election in Arizona?
I don't. He lost an election for sheriff in Maricopa County, which is a Republican stronghold of the state. He lost that election by double digits. And now to run statewide, which is much more Democratic, that would be extremely difficult.
So he doesn't think that Joe Arpaio is going to be able to win his Senate seat. Joe Arpaio is the guy that was strong against illegal immigration. I believe that when someone comes across our border illegally, they committed an illegal act or something like that. I think it's an illegal. Yeah, it's an illegal act. Last time I checked the law, and he believes that they should go back and come in the right way, through the way that all dreamers go through, which is called the American immigration process, where you fill out a form and you apply for United States citizenship. So that's a good way of doing things. That's what my ancestors did. That's what many of your ancestors did. So. Yep, I think it can still work. Guys, I tell you, I'm so irritated by this this ruling class that is filled with absolute thirst for power, with a desire to divide, and it is really composed of insanity. So, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. For the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you. God bless, and God save this nation.